A roaring chant of USA enveloped the Kaseya Center as President Trump arrived this weekend. He praised the crowd's reaction, calling it a legendary sign of his administration's success. On Air Force One, Trump expressed his pride in receiving such an enthusiastic welcome from supporters. Sitting alongside UFC CEO Dana White, he immersed himself in the thrilling atmosphere of UFC 314. Among the notable attendees were prominent figures like Elon Musk and Tulsi Gabbard, adding to the excitement. Trump's granddaughter, Kai, shared her joy about the crowd's energy, describing it as really cool. The president referred to the fighters as modern-day warriors, emphasizing their resilience and grit. After each match, Trump engaged with the fighters, admiring their toughness and dedication to the sport. He couldn't resist a playful jab at Joe Biden, contrasting their approaches to public engagement and interviews. As the excitement of the event lingered, the passion for both sports and leadership ignited conversations beyond the octagon. The fabric of international trade is shifting, and the implications are staggering. Brace yourself for a story of monumental changes. Recently, a covert U.S. customs note revealed that smartphones are now exempt from hefty tariffs. This includes Apple's key products. For years, tariffs aimed to bring manufacturing back to the States, yet this new exemption changes everything. What's driving this reversal? Imagine a scenario where Apple's prices soared to near $2,000 due to shocking tariffs. Would consumers have accepted such a steep hike? With around 80% of iPhones sold in the US made in China, the repercussions of tariffs could have been devastating. A crisis was looming. Tim Cook stands at a crossroads, uniquely positioned to influence both US and Chinese leadership. His role in this saga is critical. Weekend reports indicate a shift in strategy within the White House, sidelining previous trade advisors. Is this a sign of desperation? As exemptions expand, it's clear that other nations are seizing opportunities. Countries like Taiwan and Vietnam significantly benefit from these changes. The tariff landscape is littered with contradictions, favoring nations with trade surpluses rather than addressing the fundamental issues at play. The unpredictable dance of international commerce leaves everyone guessing. How will the rest of the world respond to this evolving story? Are you ready to face rising smartphone prices? Brace yourself for a shocking price hike coming soon. A staggering 145% tariff on Chinese goods is about to change the landscape of gadget prices in the US. Analysts warn that if costs surge, iPhone prices could skyrocket by hundreds of dollars. Unbelievable but true. With 80% of iPhones made in China, consumers worldwide might feel the pinch reflected in their shopping carts. Apple's supply chain diversification to countries like India and Vietnam aims to combat these escalating costs effectively. As tariffs potentially shift consumer behavior, even longer contracts could emerge, resembling mortgage payments for smartphones. In an unexpected twist, some experts suggest prices could drop if manufacturers adjust their export strategies wisely. Despite potential price spikes, Apple's strong brand loyalty means many consumers may stick with iPhones, come what may. However, with bold estimates predicting iPhone prices could triple, consumers are understandably anxious for the future. Where do we go from here? Customers are already rushing to stores, eager to secure their next device before costs soar. The stakes have never been higher as Iran and the US initiate crucial talks about nuclear ambitions. First discussions since 2018 in Oman spark hopes for a potentially monumental deal between old adversaries. Iran's foreign minister expressed positivity, describing the meeting as constructive and respectful, setting the right tone. While no direct confrontation occurred, a brief exchange hinted at gradual progress towards deeper diplomacy. Mediated by Oman, delegations communicated indirectly, marking a significant departure from past confrontations. In the shadow of hardliners, Iran carefully managed their expectations during these sensitive discussions. The U.S. envoy emphasized the urgency of dialogue, aiming to transform adversarial tensions into collaborative resolutions. Both parties recognize the complex nature of the negotiations as they navigate deeply rooted historical conflicts. With military pressure looming, time is of the essence as both nations eye a potential breakthrough. In a volatile landscape, the path ahead remains uncertain, yet the glimmer of hope persists for a peaceful solution. In a surprising twist, President Trump's health report reveals shocking details from his recent examination. His White House physician confidently confirms Trump is in excellent cognitive and physical health, leaving many intrigued. The report comes after an intense 5-hour medical evaluation at Walter Reed Hospital, revealing intriguing insights. Remarkably, Trump was found to have scarring on his right ear from a narrow escape last July. Dr. Sean Barbabella noted Trump's robust cardiac and neurological functions, dispelling rumors of health concerns. Even at 78, Trump showcases an active lifestyle, contributing to his overall well-being and resilience against stress. During the assessment, Trump impressed by acing the Montreal Cognitive Assessment with a perfect score of 30. Despite a history of skin issues and minor sun damage, his doctor emphasized he's fit for duty. Interestingly, Trump's journey has been marked by significant weight loss, dropping from 243 to 224 pounds in recent years. With daily victories on the golf course, Trump continues to defy age expectations and challenges his rivals' fitness. Shoppers across the U.S. feel the pressure of rapidly changing tariffs, leaving many confused and anxious. Richard Medina, worried about tariff-induced price hikes, rushed to replace his broken smartphone. Tariffs announced by Trump could trigger staggering price increases and potential shortages for everyday items. Anna Woods is unsure how to navigate her purchases as prices seem to rise daily. With tariffs peaking at 145% on some goods, consumers brace for drastic price increases ahead. Major retailers report increased customer visits as people stock up on essentials before prices soar. Jamie Casey, shopping for her daughter's needs, is closely monitoring prices and their potential impacts. Christina Montoya, living on a fixed income, is buying extra supplies, worried about future price hikes. Economists predict a potential recession, with consumer spending facing an inevitable decline due to price rises. As uncertainty looms, New Yorkers like Louis Lopez are preparing for significant changes in their lifestyles. In a world filled with struggle, one community is seeking recognition and autonomy. Orania, a settlement in South Africa, rises with a clear mission. With a growing population of 3,000, Orania aims for U.S. support in achieving their dream of autonomy. This small town stands as a beacon of hope for Afrikaners. The call for recognition gained momentum after President Trump's remarks on Afrikaner farmers' plight in South Africa. Humanitarian relief has become a pressing topic on the global stage. Orania's leaders assert their desire for autonomy, not refugee status in the U.S. They seek the U.S.'s acknowledgement of their national aspirations and rights. Help us here is the clarion call from CEO Just Stridham to U.S. officials, seeking not just aid, but respect and sovereignty for Afrikaners. Founded in 1988, Orania prides itself on its thriving community and cultural preservation. This settlement showcases determination, combating challenges through unity and vision. Orania is self-sufficient. It boasts its own water purification and solar power systems. This resilient settlement successfully cultivates corn, wheat, almonds, and various livestock. With an average growth of 10 to 12% per year, Orania also focuses on education. Plans to open their own university symbolize their commitment to preserving Afrikaner identity. In Washington, Orania met officials to discuss vital matters, escalated by Trump's acknowledgement of their situation. Their pursuit of justice shines through amid political tension. Hanley Peters, a resident, cherishes the safety and purpose Orania offers. Here, Afrikaner identity becomes legacy, where community effort fosters a hopeful and thriving future. In a fiery exchange, columnist Josh Rogan confronted Bill Maher about his recent meeting with Trump, raising eyebrows. Maher, a long-standing critic of Trump, described their encounter as gracious and measured, a sentiment that puzzled many progressives. Rogan claimed that Maher had fallen into a PR trap, citing the meeting as proximity being mistaken for principle. "You've played the game," Rogan insisted, clearly skeptical about Trump's motivations and intentions behind the meeting. Maher felt the pressure as Rogan asserted, "You've been used as a prop in that PR stunt," sparking tension. Despite the clash, Maher maintained, "Not everybody has to like it," emphasizing that criticism is part of the dialogue. Piers Morgan chimed in, challenging the tribal mindset prevalent on social media, suggesting a more nuanced American perspective. He argued that the majority of people don't share the extreme views often amplified online, highlighting a collective disconnect. Maher defended his stance, pointing out his unfiltered criticism of Trump even after their meeting, asserting his authenticity. As Rogan pushed back, Maher remained steadfast, illustrating the complexities of political discourse in today's polarized world. An extraordinary celebration of Holy Week is on the horizon at the White House, igniting deep emotions. President Donald Trump is set to participate in a multitude of events honoring this significant holiday. The newly formed White House Faith Office is determined to observe Holy Week with sincere reverence. A Holy Week proclamation and a special presidential video message will be distributed throughout the week. On Palm Sunday, President Trump will address Christians, focusing on his commitment to uphold faith everywhere. An Easter dinner will take place, featuring hymns from the Marine Corps Band and powerful performances. Christian leaders from across the nation are expected to gather, sharing a unique evening of faith and unity. Holy Thursday promises a worship service where esteemed pastors will lead prayers and scripture readings. Last year, a noticeable contrast emerged as President Biden designated Easter Sunday for Transgender Day of Visibility. Levitt expressed outrage, asserting that Easter should exclusively honor the resurrection of Jesus Christ, pure and simple. Americans are facing an economic crisis unlike anything seen in recent history. The sentiments are alarmingly low, and for good reason. The latest University of Michigan survey reveals a staggering plunge in consumer sentiment by 11%. This brings the preliminary reading down to a mere 50.8. Now, this figure represents the second lowest sentiment reading since records began in 1952. It was even lower than levels recorded during the Great Recession. President Trump's chaotic trade war is largely responsible for this decline. The recent announcement of new tariffs only heightened existing fears and worries. Joanne Su, director of the Michigan survey, remarked on the unanimous nature of this sentiment drop across various demographics. Economic anxiety is affecting everyone, regardless of background. Concerns over the trade war and increased tariffs are overshadowing even the most positive economic indicators. Retail sales may be sluggish, but hiring continues steadily. The uncertainty in the economy creates a paradox. People continue to spend, but confidence is rapidly eroding. As Fed Chair Jerome Powell noted, spending behaviors remain strong despite negative sentiment. However, looming economic dangers threaten this delicate balance. Rising unemployment expectation and inflation concerns cast a long shadow on consumer confidence. If consumer perception transforms into a fear of unending inflation, it could hinder the Federal Reserve's ability to manage the economy effectively. As we reflect on these economic trends, it's crucial to remain vigilant and aware of how they affect our lives. The fog of uncertainty isn't clearing anytime soon.